Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters news video. Well, yet again, there is another new update regarding the so-called Slenderman case, the case that's been going on for nearly 3 years now. The tragic one involving the stabbing, 19 times in fact, of a young girl by two other young girls who felt that at that time they were essentially in the possession or in the hands of Slenderman and doing his service. So today the update relates to finally one of them pleading guilty to the crime, and then the other one, I think there's still some time left for that young girl to also plead or do something along those lines. So yes, let's go ahead and let's provide the quick information associated with this new update. For starters, I'll include the links to some of the past videos below. You'll see that my videos on this go back over 3 years. This is a real-time case that I'm following throughout the years. This one, the Stan Romanek one, and then the other one involving Curtis Reeves, the guy who essentially shot someone in the theater over texting during the previews. Those are the 3 cases that I'm following in real life to see how they turn out afterwards. So slowly but surely we're getting some final resolution on these 3 cases. It goes to show how long these court cases can truly take. It all depends, I guess, on the prosecutors, but most importantly on the defense, making sure that they have as well as a case as can be, involving all those witnesses, all these new trial dates, postponing things, the works. So yes, please check out those other videos if you have a chance for a good summation. But in essence, with these girls, now that they are several years behind bars, they have now appeared in court. And in one circumstance, the young girl you're looking at here, she is the one that has now pleaded guilty. The first one, in fact, to essentially do so. She's 15 years old now. Her name is Anissa Weier. She just pleaded guilty, and this is the official stance. She pleaded guilty to an amended charge of attempted second-degree intentional homicide, party to a crime with the use of a deadly weapon. Very long charge, obviously, you can see there, but essentially that is her guilty plea. It was amended from a more harsher charge where it was a first degree intentional homicide, which my understanding when I was reading that information, it would have meant if she would have been found guilty of that, or if she pleaded guilty to it, then she would have had a lot more serious circumstances. But apparently changing it to a second degree lessens the impact. That's always a strange world to me when it comes to these circumstances, because imagine if like someone just decides to walk into a public place and just mows everybody down with a machine gun or throws dynamite, whatever is the case. But when they do so, they kill a bunch of people. It all depends, I guess, on their intention. Like if they were purposely doing it, then they'll be charged with first degree. But if they happen to kill someone like as a ricochet, that person is still dead, but it's considered a lesser degree. Always makes me wonder like how that truly works, because overall the person is still dead. The people are still not alive. And yet one circumstance can lead to many years, maybe even death behind bars, and then the other circumstance can be far lesser years, and in some cases just walking free. Such might be the case here with Anissa Weier, because once she pleaded guilty to this amended charge, then which also takes another interesting turn, she now has to go with a jury, and the jury will decide one of 2 things. They'll either accept her guilty plea as is, and in other words, like they'll realize that she's guilty, but she is herself responsible for the crime, or they'll accept her guilty plea with the by reason of mental disease or defect, like she'll be somewhat not guilty because she was, I guess, not of sound mind during that time period. If that's the case, and the jury decides that they accept that part, or they render that verdict, then instead of her facing, I saw I was reading 10 years, maybe up to 25 years on the first circumstance, now she could just be out in about 3 years. And not only that, but she would be placed in an institution, not like a jail, but more along the lines of those places that have I guess you could call them dorms. They have the people there, the psychiatrists. They have the meals. They have the facilities. Basically, like something like I was saying, like a dorm for at least the next 3 years, and then that's it. She'll be out. So that jury though will decide in about 3 weeks, somewhere around there. So if there's any update along those lines, or if it's sooner, I'll definitely post it here. By the way, in her guilty plea, the girl Anissa, she was able to then tell the judge like essentially what she was thinking. She said, this is her quote: "I believe that if I didn't go through with it, Slenderman would come and attack and kill myself, my friends, and then my family." That's what she told the judge, and then the judge was able to accept her guilty charge. Interesting that they do that there, I guess, in that type of courtroom, because you would think that normally when someone offers like a guilty plea, then that's it, the sentencing is done. But who knows? I guess things are a little different here. Instead of the judge doing the sentencing, they're having a jury do so there. Now, as far as the other girl, Morgan Geyser, she was in court there on Monday too, but I think hers goes a little bit later. Her trial is somewhere around October 16th. I guess she's also pleaded not guilty, but I don't think that there has been a decision made, something along those lines, like a more concrete decision like here. But in any case, the other girl, Anissa, also pleaded not guilty originally, but now she just changed her plea to guilty. So we'll see what Morgan Geyser does afterward. But yes, please check out the videos when you have a chance if you wanted to see a good summation of everything that I've chronicled throughout these years. Also, I'll include some of the links to some of the articles that I was reading today regarding this. It's kind of crazy because one of them shows that Anissa, of the two girls involved in the Slenderman case, Anissa, the one that pleaded guilty today, is definitely the one that seems to be more fascinated with Slenderman, because she's the one that a couple of days before the incident, she was like infatuated with him, writing down notes, doing a diary, even so much so that she was like creating, even after the incident, she was focusing on some kind of weird journal, something along those lines, where she keeps in touch with I don't know if she's writing like to Slenderman still, but in her circumstance, like she's still trying to do something towards him or with him. It's crazy. Like you definitely have to check out the links, and then that way you'll see more information along those lines. But yes, that's all the info that I could find today associated with this update on the Slenderman case. So, but as soon as anything else pops up, I'll definitely let everybody know. So, all right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care.